I was out here yesterday for a few hours working on something that I started building about 3 months ago, and it was like standing in the corner all that time. I just didn't finish it, mainly because I had a motor picked out for it that I bought surplus at Princess Auto, and it worked when I bought it, and then as soon as I got it put in here, it didn't work. And no matter what I tried, I couldn't get it to work. Within reason, I didn't take it apart or anything. Very difficult to do that anyway. So that kind of dissuaded me, and I put the project on the shelf until yesterday. I came back out and I took the motor out of the tugger that I made for the camera dolly that I made a couple of years ago. And I rigged up a couple of switches. One reverses it or makes it go forward or reverse. The other one turns it on. So it'll come back this way, and if I flick the switch, it'll go the other way. But the neat thing about this thing is that there's a mechanism here extra that makes it pan. You can put the camera on here. Right now I've got an L bracket put on, and that was to use it vertically like this, so that it will actually lift the camera up and also pan it downwards as it goes up. But it will also work really well side to side, and that's mainly why I built it, to put a camera. I still have a few other things to do with it. Another thing is the motor actually runs a little bit slower than I want, so I may change that. I also may change the threaded rod that's in here to make it actually move a little bit faster. But I'll just turn it on and you can see how fast it moves. Not very fast at all, and I really needed to go faster than this to make usable footage for, a shorter video. I'll show the panning mechanism in a little bit more detail. You can see that this part moves. I still need to do something here. I really want to make this so that these pins slide on the side of this rod perfectly, so I'd have to spring load one. But the idea here is that as it moves forward, this rod guides this ahead, and it'll actually make this turn as well. The panning mechanism is not my invention. It's something that I kind of stole from a commercially available camera slider, and it works basically the same way. You just adjust this rod back and forth like this on those two tracks to adjust how you want this thing to pan. I've used it a lot since putting it in. Just about every time I'm out here cutting on the table saw, I turn this on. If it's for an extended period, that is. If I know I'm just going to make one cut, I'm not going to bother turning it on. But if I'm going to make a lot of cuts, I turn it on. So I haven't taken the filters out at all since I put it in there. And I'm just going to take this one out because it's really looking full. And you can see there's dust coming off here, pretty heavy, and you can see the buildup on there. I can hardly see through it, just right, on the top of the creases there. So it's very effective at filtering this dust. I'm going to check the one inside. You guys can see it already. I can't, but you can see right there the dust that's on this filter as well, as you can see. And then I flip it over and it's looking very clean on the inside. When I look up inside the fan, I don't see any significant amount on the fan itself or on the shroud, so that's good. Now I've even got I think it's because of the way the fan works. It mainly blows around the edge, especially where the shroud is. And in the center, like in the middle of it, you've got kind of a low pressure area that kind of pulls the air back in. So I think that's what I'm seeing here with this filter. You can see right in the middle there, there's some dust, and I think that's what it is. It blows out, and then the airborne dust that's, going through the filter gets pushed back into the filter here. Because on the back, although you can see a little tiny bit, not as much as the front.